Yeah.
I just want to kind of circle back round to this idea of champions and allies, because
Hmm.
it sounds like a really great mechanism to really kind of power up those networks as well. And I
Yeah.
know we kind of touched on this a little bit, but are there any specific tips about how to best identify those champions and allies, and how best to attract people to come forward, I guess, within your businesses to become those champions and allies?
Yeah, I think it's important to understand why people want to do it. So what are people's motivations? And I think even if you often get people who want to do it because they want to appear like a good professional as well, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it's understanding those motivations. It's understanding why they want to be part of it. And it might be that certain allies want to be part of it because there's someone close to them who's been really affected by something or has a certain characteristic.
Mm.
Um, so I think as long as you can make sure that that person understands what's going to be expected of them. If you're in the early stages of getting allies on board, it's about those allies being able to work with diverse communities in the business to establish what the roles and responsibilities of an ally should be.
Yeah.
So again, are we just wearing lanyards, or are we really moving forward into some proactive structured work? So then it's making sure that you're managing their expectations and making sure that they fully understand what's expected of them, so that we don't have allies joining causes who aren't capable of either giving the time or the energy that's required for those causes. It's also about being able to, and this goes for networks as well as allies, it's also about being able to have discussions and communication with line managers to make sure they're aware not only of the time that that individual is going to need, but how they can support them. And that goes for allies as well. And I think then it's also about identifying people across the business. So you may well get a number of allies that come from one part of the business because of the nature of the work. So perhaps it might be within HR or a people function, or perhaps it's just because of their proximity to other allies in the business. But make sure you've got a spread across the business. Make sure you're looking at different levels of seniority and therefore different levels of influence in the business. And make sure, like I said, there is constant dialogue about what's being expected of people. And as things start to move forward, how that's going to change. So again, potentially an opt-out for certain people if they are having to be particularly hands-on. It's not that they're opting out of being an ally, it's just that their input might have to be seasonal as well.